This recipe is for people that cook turkeys and just take the drippings out of the pan and serve that. There's plenty of people that do that. And I'm giving them here a simple way of making a simple brown sauce. Nothing to do except heat up the chicken stock that you buy. Put the roux in here, butter and flour. And the reason why I'm using this kind of pan, guess why? Look at it. See how it's curved? It's much easier than work a whip on that type of pan. And when you measure the flour, this is a tablespoon measure. You take the knife and go across. It has to be exactly what I wrote down. Otherwise, it may not come out that way. I mean, the sauce may not come out right. Okay. Now next to it, that's done now. Next to it, I have the chicken broth heated. You know, there's 1,000,001 ways to make this even better, but I'm only making it for those people who don't know how to make a sauce and would like to have a sauce. And then you just add the 1/4 chicken stock. Now, you notice that it's light in color. That's because of the flour. But the drippings from the pan are going to darken it. And even if it's light, it's okay. This doesn't thicken immediately. If it was cornstarch, it would. So it would take a couple of minutes on a moderate flame now to thicken. Now, this is only the beginning of your turkey gravy. Now, what do you have to do next? Next, you have to take a quart container I use this all the time when I go to my cousin's. She makes the turkey and I bring this. But I do a little better job on this. I put white wine, I saute some onions, but this is the simplest thing that you can do and get away with having a nice sauce for your turkey, because all the flavor is going to be in the drippings. So I pour the drippings into a quart container like this. But before I do it, I take my fine strain of the chinois, put it in the quart container. Let me back this up a little. Put everything in the quart container. Okay? Anybody, if you have a 20-pound turkey, 25-pound turkey, this is plenty. What will happen if it starts to fill up too much, take some of the fat off that's already this deep on the top with a ladle. And then continue adding everything. And what I mean is my ladle. I can't believe this. Anyway, so now you have this, what comes off the pan, and I hope that you had, carrots, onions, and celery under the turkey, maybe a couple of bay leaves, a little garlic, whatever. And that your pan is not 100% dry. Like for the last half hour, if it looks dry, pour a quart of water into the pan. This will pick up all the flavor. We got this, we got this. Now you have this, and you leave it standing all by itself for a few minutes. And you will notice that all of the turkey fat is up here, and on the bottom you have this darker liquid. That is going to give this sauce the best flavor that you could ask for. So how do you get the oil out of there? You can pour this slowly until you see the liquid that's there, and then stop, and then finish taking out with a small ladle. Meanwhile, this is cooking. And the other thing to remember is when you finish this sauce, it can't be too thick, because a sauce that sits on a plate for like even 20 seconds, all of a sudden will firm up. And you don't want that. You want the sauce to be nice and loose as you're eating it, so you can coat the turkey. So now this is boiling, and you see a sauce is done really when it coats the spoon. This is a little light, and we're not going to reduce this. I'm going to make the adjustments by adding the correct amount of roux. So now, this is on a simmer, just starting to simmer, but see the consistency of the sauce as it coats the ladle. This consistency, when you put it on a plate, will stay fairly loose for a couple of minutes. As it gets colder, of course it's going to be thicker. Now, let's cook some of the flour out of this. Put a lid on this and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Very low flame, because you don't want this to reduce. You would like to have the same amount as you started with. So if there's ways of checking this. If you see that where the level of the sauce has gone down, all you have to do is replace it with a little water. It's not thinning out the sauce, because what is sauce? It's liquid. It's water with flavorings in it. Anyway, cook the flour. Now you're done. I take this over to my cousin's house. I put it in a pot like this. I don't like using that aluminum. I'd rather use this. Leave it on the stove. After her turkey comes out, I pour the drippings off, strained, add it to my plain sauce, and it tastes like delicious turkey. So that's how simple it is. Try it, you'll like it. Remember, this is not for anyone that knows how to make sauces, okay? Thank you.